This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Sierra 117, and you're watching Xbox Ultimate. Now, finish the fight. Chief out.
And Halo's on my mind. Hello, everybody. This is Xbox Ultimate, and you are watching episode number 55. It's been a slow news day, so we don't really have much to talk about. So we're just kind of trying to make stuff up. No. Hey, guys, thank you for being here in the chat. You guys freaking rock. As you can see, we have two absolutely incredible guests here tonight. We have one guy that's literally crawled out of bed, drank 8 coffees and hopped on the mic, and another guy that is a really talented developer that has a game coming out this month. And holy crap, this is going to be a super fun show. Plus, you know, there's a lot of other stuff to talk about too. But getting into these guests, I would like to first say hello to Joe Winter, the creator of Song of Iron, who has graced us with his presence today. What's up, Joe? How are you doing, man?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. I'm doing good. Nerves are all over the place as we close in, but I'm doing good.
I know being on the show was a huge deal for you, but you know,
being
nervous is okay. We'll try to ease you in, okay? You know.
Perfect.
All right, Gaz. Hey, dude, I freaking love this guy. He's just full of sauce. He's full of excitement and full of hype all the time for all things gaming. Gaz from GameOnDaily, what's going on, dude? How's it going?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to finally be on Fun Speculation, and with Joe Winter, no less. It's going to be an interesting one. And like you said, a very slow news day. Nothing happened at all. Nothing at all. So
it was so hard to come up with conversation topics for this show, you know.
We'll end up talking about Zelda or something. We'll find
Zelda on an Xbox podcast. That's what we're gonna do. Let's go for it. You know. Then we have 3Bit's gonna be joining us in a little while. He's running behind, but we do have 4 of the rest of the 7 here as well. Lady's out of town right now. She's up in the mountains fishing, probably as we speak. Or maybe not. That'd be night fishing. I don't know. That might be dangerous. Shout out to Lady, wherever you are.
Thing.
Is it? Is night fishing a thing? I'm not a fisherman.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Sure.
Yes,
for
sure.
Okay, I need to go night fishing. Somebody take me night fishing.
You're gonna have a lot of night fishing in Texas.
Do they?
I don't know. You live in Texas. I live in Ohio.
I don't fish.
Is there nighttime there?
There is nighttime in Texas.
Then you should be good.
Okay. All right. So if there's nighttime, then there's night fishing. We've solved it, but there's not a lot of water. So there's enough. Hey.
There's enough.
First in my heart, my lovely wife, Kaitlin. Hey, baby. How's it going?
Hey, it's going good. Excited to have Joe here. Excited to have the other half of GameOnDaily here. We had Asa on a few weeks ago.
Let that die.
No, never. Let's get going.
Heck yeah. And then we have the extraordinary AssassinLupa. Hey, Lupa.
Hello, it's Friday. It's going to be fire. Let's get at it.
You have way too much energy. You are the same country I am. How do you have so much energy on Tuesday?
She's nocturnal.
I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm a
She's
vampire.
nocturnal.
Yeah. She's impressive with that stuff. Then we have the absolutely wonderful mellow fellow from outer space, Psychonauts. How's it going, man?
Hey, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's actually right now it's mellow fellow from Zeta Halo.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. And the encyclopedia of gaming dating back to the very first game ever made, the one and only Pong Soul. How's it going, Pong?
It's Friday. What's going on, family? Awesome to have, of course, Gas. obviously. You know what, Gaz? I was kind of disappointed. I thought you were going to say you're excited to be here to see me. Instead, you went with Joe. Come on. Really? Joe's just a developer of a big, giant indie game coming out at the end of the month. This is Pong right here. Come on,
Sorry,
man.
Pong. My priorities are all wrong. I apologize.
Nah, man. Awesome to see you, Joe. Awesome, brother, to have you on Xbox Ultimate. Obviously, been following you around forever. Now you're following me around, so that's cool. I can't wait till the end of the month to get my hands on Song of Iron. But man, we got games, and more freaking games. And as Mav said, thank God we got those games because there's no news going on whatsoever.
No news.
So I'm just glad we're gonna talk about games tonight. So let's get down
Heck yeah,
to it.
dude. I'll get to that later. Never mind. All right, Joe. I want to start off before we get into a bunch of craziness because this I don't know where this is going to go later. And I promised 3-bit I wouldn't bring up the other topic until he gets here. But
Okay.
you have a game that has attracted a lot of attention from not just this community, which you keep gracing everybody with your awesome presence throughout the community, but also through the masses, through like some of Xbox's promotions and marketing and their like sizzle reel trailers and all this stuff. And in fact, before I even knew who you were, it had caught my eye and I was intrigued, right? Because I saw it, I think, before I was even doing any of this stuff. So then you come to see the person on all these podcasts and see you do all these updates on your game and give people like demos and stuff like that. And it's just absolutely awesome to see this game is actually about to come out now. Right, you have 10 days or 11 days to release, right? And I just want to know, like how excited are you for this, and like what does the next 11 days look like for you before the release of Song of Iron?
Oh man, I'm very excited. It's a very surreal experience. Definitely now that it's coming to a close. Like any big thing you plan for forever or whatever, it's just like, is this really happening now? Like, what do I do after when this is over? Like, who am I?
Oh, right.
But it's all going good. I'm very excited. I'm like working on a final build right now, just kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's and all that kind of stuff, and feeling happy with it. People who have been playing it are able to play it. It's not just a heap of burning nothing and and that's like the fear, as silly as it sounds, but so I'm calming down and I'm getting excited to let it just be out there for everybody. I can't wait.
Heck yeah, man. It's a awesome thing to be able to see like devs that have like 1, 2, or 3 guys or whatever be able to put out a product now that looks like Song of Iron does. What do you see this being like if this goes as you planned, do you see this being a huge launching point for like the future of your like studio, or are you just kind of experimenting?
Yeah, I definitely want to keep doing this. Like I left the 343 job to do this because it had some opportunities and I took the risk and stuff, and I love it. I love working on this and making my own thing. And I don't want to be a huge studio by any means. Like I don't want it to blow up, or even if it did, I would never turn it into some 50-person monster of a thing or whatever. But 1 or 2 people to just kind of add more content and bring the quality levels up in areas that I'm not super great at. And I think that would be amazing. And I just want to keep making the game. I don't want to turn into a boss. You know, I want to be part of the dev team the whole time. So that's the dream. Hopefully that happens. Yeah. Awesome.
Wait, I just put 2 and 2 together. So Joe leaving 343 is why we had the news today.
Oh,
he was working on the co-op.
I wasn't. I had nothing to do with it.
Hey, when you guys play Song of Iron, just pretend that it's Halo co-op.
Yeah, there you go. Cover half of your screen, and there you go.
Yeah. But literally, we're all super excited. I want to give this opportunity to you real quick. I know you don't want to be a sales guy or whatever, but hey, give everybody your pitch for Song of Iron that is coming. And I'm putting you on the spot right now. That is coming soon. So let's hear it.
Yeah. Oh man, this is always my least favorite thing to do. I go watch the trailers. They do such a better job of talking about the game. No, it's Song of Iron is a game that I made with a ton of passion to making something interesting and something fun. Super inspired by games like Inside and Limbo and 1,000 other things, Zelda, you know, Lord of the Rings, all that kind of stuff. And I really wanted to make a game that was really grounded in reality and yet super fun, make you feel like a badass. I often describe it as Viking John Wick, or you know,
Nice.
or that kind of thing. I describe the combat a lot like a Western like saloon barroom brawl, and it's just about this really kind of not normal combat system where there's not a bunch of combos. You're not just smashing forever. It's much more dangerous. You have simple things you can do like kicking or throwing your axe or hitting people, and you have to do them in the right order so you don't get mobbed and taken down. And the reason I like to compare it to like a barroom brawl is like you throw your axe, there's nothing special about the weapons. You pick up an enemy's, you break a shield from blocking too much, you grab another shield, and it's just this kind of this flowing nonstop kind of realistic fight in a lot of ways. And I think that realism of a thing, it adds a lot of kind of interest, and that's something I really went after. I love Viking stuff. The story came from a D&D campaign, and so that just locked in right away, like kind of day one. And there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. I think there's a lot of stuff that people won't expect or won't be ready for, so keep your eyes peeled while you play, if you play. And I think it's a nice, clean and short experience. You can do it in a night or two, or you know, I think I was looking for 2 or 3 hours, and I think I got 3 or 4 hours, so happy with that too. And and I can't wait to make the second one.
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome that you're not burnt out. You know what I mean? You know, because I'm sure that's like gets to a lot of people. Before we move on to the rest, I want to say hello to 3-Bit dude, the most amazingly talented person. Well, maybe he might be tied with Joe now as the most talented person on the panel. I don't know. Usually, like 3-Bit's usually the most talented person here, but I don't know right now. So it's confusing.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, dude, your game is awesome. For sure. Yeah, glad to be here with everyone. Love you all. Guest, pleasure be on the show.
Likewise.
Dude, Joe, what you've done with this game, just congrats. And I can't wait to play it with everybody and celebrate it. And it's gonna be really fun for sure.
Thanks, dude.
That's cool that you're ready to think about this.
Joe. The reviews are coming. Brace yourself, man. I'm not gonna be so easy on you. I'm not gonna be so but you graced me with the beta, and I think we spoke in the background, and it played how it looked. And that's the best thing I could say to you.
That's good to hear, man.
That's always good to hear.
That makes me happy, because a lot of times you'll like see a game, you're like, oh, that looks awesome. Oh man, this is like made for me. Then you go to play it and you're like, man, this feels like ass. You know.
Hopefully, Song of Iron doesn't feel like ass. No, it doesn't. It's gonna be epic, and I wish you all the best. You deserve the success. I'm really hyped, man.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's only gotten better, and like people like you guys playing it and you know, being on the betas and stuff, it's helped so much. I've been able to improve the game from feedback, and it's very awesome.
I know me and Gaz are beta testers for Song of Iron, and I freaking love what I played so far. Awesome. I know we can't talk too much about it, but freaking phenomenal. People wait for this game. It's gonna blow your mind.
Really feel for you, Joe, because this is going to be your first experience waiting for the reviews. No matter how much you say you don't care, you're gonna be. I would say if you don't,
I'll tell you, I care. My heart.
Stock up on edibles or whatever you need. Just chill, man. Well, but we've got your back, man.
Just like we talked about in the pre-show, like if you've seen any 3 out of 10s on Metacritic or whatever, just know, guys, the winter is coming.
Yeah, winter's coming.
No, God willing.
Have you ever gotten like you mentioned like you were getting feedback and stuff? Have you ever gotten like opposing feedback that's just completely opposite from each other, and you're trying to decide which one is like you should go with? Yeah,
all the time. I mean, really, people will often describe a thing in a way that's not, you don't really want to take directly, but you try to figure out why they're saying that. It's like, this thing, it's so OP, I can't kill anybody. And it's like, well, maybe this weird other thing is actually the problem. And so you kind of use all those things to triangulate and find what the actual issue is.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times an animation won't feel good and they'll think that the enemies are too strong, but it's like the character's attack animation is actually the issue, or like they need to move a little faster. It could be something so not connected, and it's all about translating all the feedback and kind of deciphering it.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah.
Like, yeah, man. I want to get to these super chats real quick because we had one before the show actually started, and it was from Sean. He says, "Have a great show, guys." $18 super chat. He says, "Great guest too. I'll be sure to get it on. Catch up in the morning going to work." Heck yeah. Thanks to you, Sean. Appreciate it. And also, Micah Ford as well with a $20 super chat. Shout out to you, Micah. He says, "The sauce and Joe Winter in the house. Thanks for being here, gentlemen." I concur. Thanks for being here, gentlemen.
Potent mix. The sauce and Joe together. Hot and cold. Hot and cold.
Yeah, and thank you again, Micah. It's absolutely amazing. All right, guys. So, unless anybody has anything else that you've been really clamoring for to ask Joe, I know Joe may want to talk about some other things as well. So we're going to talk about some news. So,
yeah, let's go.
Well, Halo. Hey guys, Halo got this amazing announcement today. We already know what the season 2 and season 3 content is planned. That is absolutely amazing. They went ahead and gave us that information. Season 2 and season 3 content is actually announced. We get co-op mode in season 2. We get Forge mode season 3. I mean, they're just bringing it, right? So we didn't even know that yesterday. So they announced a bombshell today, right? That has
good news Friday, right? Oh no, wait, it's bad news Friday.
It'll be good news Tuesday, right? Yeah. I've been seeing that, and that's probably true, right? Maybe a release date incoming, as well as potentially some other good information that they're going to try and give us to help ease the pain of so many right now. But what happened was, obviously, unless you've been living under a rock today, Halo Infinite had their dev update. And they had an awesome video that they posted on YouTube where they kind of gave us some glimpses at what we learned from the flight test that was so successful. But they also said, hey, guess what? Sorry, guys, but there's going to be no co-op at launch with the campaign. And also Forge mode is also going to be delayed. They did announce that the campaign co-op is slated, hopefully, to release with the start of Season 2, which is 3 months after launch. And then also Forge mode is slated to release about 6 months after launch with Season 3. So that is what the plan is now. But a lot of people are upset. Obviously, the people that co-op is their main jam with Halo, right? Personally, I'm not one of those people, but I know there's people on this panel that are, right? So they are saying, hey, just delay it for 3 months. So I'm curious what everybody's take is. I'll go last with this, but I know 3-Bit personally had a very passionate take on this. So I'd like to start with 3-Bit and then maybe go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it sort of just goes back to the delay, right? When I knew about the delay, they delayed it for almost a year now, or maybe a little bit over a year. And I was thinking like, hey, you guys are almost done with like the campaign. You're in the polishing stage, right? So I expect more like, hey, you're getting the base game, you're polishing it, you're adding things. And it seems like there are some features still not in the game. So to me, like every single Halo I've played, I know some people are like, oh, some Halos didn't have co-op, but like Halo 1, I would play like all the time with my dad. So that was like a close thing with me. Halo 2, we would have like crazy LAN parties, this room, full of just people either playing the campaign or definitely the multiplayer, right? And when Halo 3 came out, that's when Xbox Live sort of became like a bigger feature for Halo for sure. And that's everybody was playing like the story mode. I remember like when it came out and there was like runs where people are on like Ghost and just like we're trying to get different achievements. And so to me, it's not just like, oh, that feature is just cut out. It's more about like the experience of having to play the story mode with friends and things like I planned on doing. Like I said in multiple podcasts, I'm like, hey, when Halo Infinite comes out, I'm gonna jump in with you guys, right? Remember us saying this, and then I'm going to after we finish the campaign, then we could go ahead and experience a multiplayer. So it just, to me, it's a lot closer than just like, oh, this feature is cut out. Well, dang. To me, it's like an integral almost part of Halo. It's always been like, you could say what you want about like, oh, this one didn't have co-op or whatever. To me, personally, I always think co-op is such a cool feature of Halo because we're already getting so many games coming out that will not take advantage of co-op or will just like treat it as like a side thing already in so many modern games. So when Bungie released all their Halos, they made it like very feature complete, like with theater mode and Forge, and like when it came out. And I personally don't like the philosophy of like you release a game and then sort of fix it later. Like we've been seeing that a lot with a lot of different games, and I understand how game development works. It's very hard. It's not easy. Joe can attest to this, right? But this is like huge. Like everyone loves Halo, and it's integral to not only myself, but like there's so many just diehard Halo fans out there that wants this game to be the best it can be, to be super polished. So when it comes out, no one can say anything about it, right? You have your campaign, you got your co-op. So when it comes out, you're just like, bam, this is what Halo should be. And then you don't have to say like, oh yeah, well, this is coming later, when you're playing with your friends or whatever. But that's just me. I personally want Halo to come out the best it can possibly be. And it just, this is an unfortunate sort of thing. It's nothing like, I've seen some people was actually messaging me. They'll be like, they weren't happy with what I said, but I'm just like, hey, if you need to delay it again, like, yeah, the messaging might not be the best because you delayed it already. And I know the slate is, hey, let's hit it this year to have that whole, like, all the games coming out this year, like Flight Sim, Ascent, and like 12 minutes. And like it messaging wise, that's pretty good. But to me, I'm just like, hey, I just want the game to come out polished and just good right when it comes out, right? So that's just what I think. What do you guys think?
Before we get some of the takes real quick, and we get to these some of these super chats, Vic the Click with a $5 super chat says, finally I get to be here live and Song of Iron is ready to go. Had it pre-ordered and waiting. Pong Soul, flex, flex, flex. Awesome, dude. And then Phasma, welcome to the channel. Thank you for becoming a speculator. You freaking rock. She's awesome, guys. I've been hanging out with her a lot, playing games, and we're gonna play Halo later tonight. So if anybody wants to play some co-op, anyway, Wandering Dutch also with a $2 super chat says, just jumped in to show some love to XBU and Joe. Thank you, Dutch. You rock as well. Gaz, dude. Like, I know you're like, I see you like up and down all the time with the Halo swings, right? Like, right, where are you sitting right now after today,
Point of no return. I've been Paragon and Renegade with Halo. I'm full Renegade now. It's kind of awkward because Joe is former 343.
Yes, he is.
But Joe, I'm sorry that the
Let him have it.
The source comes in unfiltered. I think it's such a colossal failure on the part of 343, and it comes from a position of love. It comes from a position of passion. But I cannot. It's unconscionable to me that a game that was delayed by a year has one of the most core components of it missing. It's a repeat of what happened with Halo 5, and this is a bit silly to be emotional about a video game like this, but I'm genuinely livid. I called Colt up. I was like, what the hell is this, man? This is taking the mick. What I really hated about the whole reveal was how you had this Halo waypoint, and they're talking about it. They're patting themselves over the back of the technical alpha. Fine, good. And then the manner in which they dropped this, it annoys me. You've got Joe Staten and the community manager, and almost like chatting each other up, and then it's like, hey, by the way, the PC split screen, it's not coming over, but we'll sort it out. And I thought, okay, this is leading to something positive. And then what the big problem with this is, Joe says, oh, look, co-op's not going to be there, but it's a live game, right? So, we have to start somewhere. And I thought, no, you need to stop there. That is not a get out there. For me, Halo, from the first game, was a co-op experience. When I laid my eyes on Halo Infinite, that semi-open world format, immediately me and a lot of other people thought, wow, this is it. This is the ultimate Halo experience. I'm going to jump day one with my friends. The plans were made just like 3-Bits plans. But I cannot believe that you take a flagship title, you pump in for 6 years, and then you deliver it half-assed. I'm sorry, but I just don't think it's excusable. And it makes me wonder what on earth we were actually going to get last year, because that got delayed because of the fan reaction to how lackluster they thought Halo looked. And I get it, there are difficulties and all that, but you don't take the mantle of responsibility and then drop it. So
the matrix of leadership.
Yeah, the matrix of leadership. You do not do that. And I think it's a colossal failing. And the fan reactions in the comment section of YouTube, you could tell people thought, oh, yeah, so thank you so much, 343, for being transparent. And then afterwards, as they watched the rest of it, the edits came in. I'm like, wait, hold on. What's going on here? I think it's a failing. I'm a huge Halo fan. I would sacrifice every game apart from Song of Iron this year to play Halo Infinite to be the best game. It's my most beloved franchise. And so, of course, I'm going to have strong feelings about it. But if I was sitting next to Joseph Staten right now, I'm saying, what are you guys playing at? What are you doing? This is not good enough. Just delay it. Delay it again. I want the quintessential experience. A live experience doesn't excuse this. And it just vexes me, as you can probably tell. It's not an
Gaz
healthy
is
for me.
vexed. He hasn't even
going to do a source video.
Gassed up.
No sauce tonight for Gaz.
Yeah.
There's no source. I'm sorry.
But
It's
Joe,
negative
I don't know how much you can speak on this or not, because as those of you that don't know, Joe left 343 to start making his own game. So I don't know if he worked on Infinite or just 5, but as far as what, like,
he's the reason. We
come on.
Can you
already said it. I already said it.
Do you feel are you allowed to say do you feel a certain way about this?
Yeah, I mean, I can comment on it a little bit. Well, I was the lead character animator for Infinite, so I basically was in charge of all of the all the enemy characters, elite scrubs.
So he
all
made
that
Craig,
kind of
guys.
stuff. I was part of the Craig thing. We didn't have the face rig yet, guys. It was too early. We don't do
You're
that.
just the reason we don't have assassinations. That's
that's also not true. Listen, I love my assassinations. It's so many of them for 5. It's like the most fun for animators. Like we'll die to do those things. No, I think feature versus something that's in the game normally is like people look at it differently a lot of times, but what if they announced like, hey, we don't have the needler or the plasma pistol, but we do have split screen? You'd be like, wait, what? Like, that's not Halo without those two things. And this is very similar to me as a fan and as a person who wants to play it like you guys are talking about. And it's not just to play it like I did when I was a kid or something. It's like, that is an experience that is rare now, and it's an amazing experience. We forget how freaking awesome that is, and we're all cooped up in our houses with people, just a few people now. We want to do this like all we have, like that. Yeah. The issue is, and I, not to get into the behind the scenes stuff, it's like that should be a pillar, like a fundamental pillar of whatever development from the very beginning, so you never miss that. Like it screams tacked on. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm so far from that group of development and stuff, but like that's the thing you like. It feels like that, and it's too bad. And I doubt it is. I'm sure they're trying really hard. And there's people who are screaming, like there's an engineer somewhere screaming, like I've almost got it. Like let me do it. And like there are people who care, who've had, I'm sure, right? And they're like, and there's just some call that came down, can't do it, too risky, right? Whatever that is, way out of my control. and I've been gone from it long enough that I honestly don't know. But you like that, it feels like not having the sniper rifle or something. Like it feels that pivotal to the IP. They created that, they became what they are because of that in a lot of ways. And it's crazy that it wasn't in 5, and it was promised to be in this, and it's rough to hear that today. And
it is, man.
Too bad.
Pong.
Can I say something?
No, go ahead, Lupa. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to be the killjoy in anything.
No, you're fine.
But like, I just was thinking, if you're that really, really bothered about the co-op, just delay pressing the install button for 3 months.
What? No.
Then it's done.
It does not work like that.
She does have a little bit of a point. Now we'll get into
I kind of agree with you, Lupa.
But
I disagree massively.
I know. Well, I'll get into
it for
why.
3 months and then you'll get it all at once like you want. I mean, you can't play co-op and the campaign and multiplayer all at the bloody same time anyway.
It's Halo, Lupa. We're taking time off work. We're counting the days.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Halo,
I just thought I'd put it out.
Yeah,
there.
no, that's fine. The
It's
reason
not
the
unreasonable.
community is so passionate is because it's Halo. If this was like some other game, like it'd be like, oh, okay, that sucks, you know. But like something that the Halo does this, it's like, holy shit. Let's pull out the torches, you know. Let's go get them. It's like we need to change this. Let's make change. Let's make change
Just
now.
play the campaign for 3 months then, and then play co-op.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
That's great. By the way, shout out to Gaming Forte with an awesome $2 super chat. He says, shout out to the Magnificent Seven. Appreciate you all. We appreciate you at Gaming Forte as well. One of the great people in the community. I want to ask Pong, because what the conversation that's going on because of this is that thing. Like, okay, what's better for Halo? What's best for Halo at this point? We know the co-op is not ready. That's said and done. Whether whoever's fault it is, or whatever reason it is that has happened, that's done now, right? So is it better for Halo to launch on November, let's say 15th, 16th, around the 20th anniversary, or is it better to delay 3 months without with the co-op included? That would be like around February sometime.
Gotta launch.
Best case scenario, you got to launch. You do. Joe's absolutely correct. I think 3-Bit Gaz and Joe covered it very well. There's no sugarcoating this. Again, I know there's a lot of fans out there, and it's split. I mean, from what I've seen, and I didn't get the chance to look at a lot, but it's split down the middle with people for the most part. Some people just really don't care because they play campaigns all the time, single player, and that's what they do. And then there's there's the Gazes who. And you know, in 3-Bits who were looking forward to co-op. I was looking forward to co-op. Again, if this was a regular Halo campaign, I don't think the hit would be quite as bad, at least from my perspective. But we already know that 343 is going for a kind of open world experience, and they really pushed the idea that you were going to be spending a lot of time in this world because it is a 10-year plan, traveling around with your friends and going through this whole, you know, open kind of style hub world, whatever you want to call it, where you're going to be able to go and kind of find your own, you know, yeah, you can do the main missions, but there's going to be a whole bunch of side stuff out there too for you guys to go discover, right? And I think that's the best part about when you get these kind of games, to fool around with your, you know, friends in this world and just try to cause as much mayhem or go find as much trouble as you possibly can. And that's a whole nother part of this experience that now is going to be missing. Again, first of all, let's get this out of the way. The people that are going after the devs again, the ass clowns out there making threats and all this kind of stuff, just stop it. You guys make all of us look bad as gamers, and I absolutely despise this shit. It's got to stop, okay? It's not the devs' fault. If there's anyone to blame here, it is the leadership, okay? And the leadership can be questioned, and the leadership needs to be questioned. And again, I've been saying
Watch
this.
yourself, Joseph Staten.
and I don't know how much Joseph even had to do with this, because Joseph only had so much time to come in and actually change. I believe that there is credit to be given to Joseph for the focus that's been ever since he came in, and the team seemed to settle down and kind of really get focused. And the way that they've been going about this, giving us updates and that kind of stuff, has been very impressive. And it's worked wonders. And obviously the multiplayer came out and just blew everybody away, which was a huge deal at the end of the day. So I think Joseph needs to be credited for that. But this stuff goes way back. This failure to get this game ready. Can you imagine what this would have looked like last year? This boggles my mind that they even chose to show it last year in the state that it was. If they can't even have the co-op ready a year later, what would it have been last year? It would have been unbelievable to watch this thing come out. I mean, again, we can't go back, we can't do it and see it, but man, I would love to know what they were seeing, that they were like, well, we think we can get this done. I just can't believe that. And we still don't know about next gen features. Has anybody heard about ray tracing since they first started talking about it? Nope. And now they're saying that the co-op is going to be in the first quarter, right? Or the first season, right?
Yeah,
so best case season two, excuse me. So best case scenario is 3 months, but we don't even know if that's for sure, right? It could be at the tail end of that season when they actually drop it. So you're talking about possibly 6 months almost out, right? And then the Forge, the same thing. Forge isn't as big a loss. However, I do think that Forge is a part of the deal, because there is a whole group of fans out there that look forward to Forge, and they create some magical experiences for the Halo world from Forge. And I think a lot of people, myself included, were going, hey, look, if they're not going to come out with Battle Royale, but they drop Forge, and Forge is as big as that they said it was going to be, or that we kind of heard it's going to be, then you're going to have a fan base that creates you a Battle Royale right out of the gates. And that could be your big thing, right? That could be your big draw to a lot of people. Again, not myself, but again, it could have been a big draw. So Forge is a kind of a loss, but the co-op especially, I just think is something that is unforgivable at this point. I know it's going to come no matter what. They have to launch. There is no more delays. You can't delay it anymore. The multiplayer is ready to go. We know the multiplayer is going to be the biggest draw. It's the free-to-play portion of it at the, for Infinite, which is going to draw even more people in, but multiplayer is going to carry it. And no matter what the campaign is, what kind of shape it's in, what isn't there, what is there, isn't going to matter as much at the end of the day as that multiplayer being spot on. Now, like I said in our DMs, Mav, when this first came out, the problem being is, and I know none of us or a lot of us here don't care about review scores, but I can already hear the writing of how this is an incomplete game. And that is not what you want when you've got one of your tent poles. That's not what you want when you've already delayed one of your biggest franchise, one of the biggest franchises in gaming history. You delayed it a year, and now the reviews are going to be skewed because everybody's going to point out the fact that it's not complete, whether right or wrong, whether the rest of the game is absolutely perfect,
because it's
not going
so
to matter.
Much more than other games already, which is crazy. You know what I mean? But that being said, there's this expectation that there's this precedent with Halo.
And it's fine. It's fair. Good. They deserve to get smoke for that. No, they can't bask in the glory of all the hype that we give. And I see people in chat saying, "Oh, you'll still be playing it." Yeah, of course we'll still be playing it. We're massive Halo fans, but that doesn't excuse this. It's so like you've taken it on. The review score. That any chance, saying this right now, any notion of this scoring highly, and I say super highly, I mean 90 plus. I know people say Metacritic doesn't matter, blah blah blah. Let's park that to one side and acknowledge the fact actually people do take it seriously. Joe Winter's gonna know his body's gonna be freezing up before the release of Song of Winter, and I really feel for you. I don't know how that's gonna be, but hopefully the notion is gone. Yeah, hopefully. No, I pray, God willing, it will be. But with Halo, that's gone. The 90 plus Metacritic chance, in my opinion, is gone because you've taken that's going to be. You raise a great point. That's going to be playing at the forefront of a lot of reviewers who are going to be saying, "Well, this is not content complete, so we are going to review it on its merits." Flagship title, 6 years in development. You're doing exactly what you did with Halo 5, which they got ridiculed for half a decade for doing the exact same thing. So Goodbye, 90 plus meta, and you guys can pretend in chat that you don't care about Metacritic.
Well, no, it's true, Gaz. You just give them an easy target, right? There was already some of the chats, I saw some of the chat talking about that there's already going to be bias. Of course there is. We already know this is going to happen, right? And like Mav just brought up, because Halo does so much, it's already kind of an unfair scoring because the game's trying to do more than most games do ever. And so they've got to hit more notes, right?
Yeah.
Than most games ever will even try, right? So there's always going to be that, but now you just gave them an easy target. So now the people that just want to find something, even if everything else is perfect, they have an easy target to start out their reviews with and say, well, Halo, it's good, but it's missing, right? It's incomplete. And I can already hear it being written. I'll just end my point on this. If it's not already being done internally, and I don't know. Obviously, we'll never know what the story is. Maybe Schreier or somebody will come out. Gaz's best friend will come out with a expose on 343. But
it'll feature Joe Winter as the chapter 2.
But if it's not already being done, Phil has to put all of 343's leadership under review, and they have to go through what's happened over the past 6 years.
Jeez,
and they really do. They need to find out exactly what happened over the 6-year period and how during that time frame somehow, and again, pandemic aside, we know that portion of it, right? We know they built a new engine. All of that can be taken into account. But at some point they lost their way. And at some point there was a failure. Correct. That's what I said. We already know about the pandemic. Correct. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. But I'm saying this started before then.
All the new tools they've had to get their heads around.
Yeah, correct.
I get pissed off with everybody shitting on devs.
No, I'm not talking about the devs. I'm talking about the leadership assassin. You're not listening to me, Lupa.
It has to
be.
The
I wasn't
the
actually.
leader,
people that are making the decisions.
The leadership is the problem. The leadership somehow lost its way, and that trickles down into the devs.
Let's ask Joe. Hey, what's the weaknesses of the 343 leadership? No, I'm just kidding.
How long do we have? No, I'm just kidding. No. It's
now
a tough
you just
one.
made him leave.
No. It's really hard. I mean, it's always more complicated than it seems. There's so many layers to it. And the devs, any individual dev and any individual leader wants the best for it. It's about controlling it and like guiding it into the right places so that you can be successful. And that's hard with an enormous studio. And it's clearly something that's been a struggle. Right?
Yeah.
I think if the game comes out with amazing graphics and plays really well, the game plays awesome. What's the freaking problem in a few months?
Yeah, it's just about faith.
It's about faith. Agony.
I just love winding Gaz up to get higher and higher. Every time I say it, goes another octave higher.
I mean, we want our games to be amazing, right? And we want to trust in the studios that are handling them. When they make promises, we want to be able to believe them. And they did make promises about this, and they still need to launch. I don't think the delay is the right thing. I mean,
I agree.
The issue is that long ago something went wrong, and now they're where they're at. It's not that they need to delay so that this one feature gets in.
This doesn't necessarily mean they're in a bad place right now. It just means that they're not as far along with certain things as they should be. And that could have been a problem that happened 3 years ago that we're still dealing with. What were you saying, Psycho?
No, I was going to just say, they're already pointing fingers at Chris Lee. He resigned, and here comes Joseph Staten to take over because it was kind of in the mess. But I'm like in the middle. I'm crossing the middle because I'm like, I want it out tomorrow, but yet I want all the features there too. It's like I'm in a weird place because I want to experience this Halo we haven't. It's been 6 years. It's supposed to be the biggest, most epic Halo ever made, and I just want to play it. But yet also I want to have all the features there as well. So it's like gamers are stuck. You love it and but now you got this news and you're just you're conflicted. And we're very passionate about gaming. And and Halo has been, my childhood, since 2001. So it's tough. It's
It
a
is.
hard.
And I see Dan Lazar in the chat says, if you're ever upset about gaming news, go outside and touch some grass. That means if you're ever ever upset about something you're passionate about, this is our primary passion. We're not allowed to be upset, and it just comes as a defense mechanism. Dan Lazaro, I know who you are. It's not. You demand better. You demand better. And I request more of 3. I expect more of 343. How many chances are we gonna give, man? To 343, I feel like I thought I had Stockholm syndrome. Syndrome. People in chat already have it. Yeah.
But the story's not done yet, right? This is one page, right? At one section. So we got a lot more to see before we can make the assumption that they've completely failed with Halo Infinite, right?
I don't think anybody's saying that. The multiplayer experience
what
was
we
off the
played
charts.
from the tech test was everybody agreed that it was amazing. That's not what this is about.
So I think that they're on the right track. It's just like they still got some stuff to work out, and this was a big failure. This was definitely a big failure. Babe, I want to know, like, how does this sit with you? Like,
I've already explained it, babe. What are you talking about? Me again.
Hey, sweetheart, I just want to hear more, sweetheart.
Do I think they've shot themselves in the foot with this announcement? Yes, 100%. But also, feel like everyone's so emotion driven by the news that I'm afraid all the reactions are going to cause them to delay the whole thing. So if everybody could just stop bitching about it, that would be great, because after that flight test, I cannot wait to get my hands on it.
Yeah. I think the last thing I'll say too is if we look back at what 340 has done really well, and at the after 5, there was like 2 years of really, really solid and all 3 sort of support for the game, work on the game, improvements and additions to the game. And like the Metacritic, which we don't care about, went up as over time with 5, because the game was legitimately worked on for a really long time afterwards. And we may hate that it's coming late or whatever, but I think we can trust Microsoft in general and 343 to continue to put time. They've already announced like a lot of just general like free updates, which they did with 5, which a lot of people were talking about as like, this is the standard, like we should all be doing this sort of thing for our games. And we may not love that, but if it comes, it's still there in the end and you get to play it. But obviously we want it day one. So it's better than not knowing if it's actually even going to come, or if it's going to be a really bad version because they had to do it. We can trust them that they're going to work really hard to make a good version.
Yeah, if anything, at least they gave a date. They're like, okay, or that's planned. Yeah.
So I'm going to read the super chat, and then I'm going to give my thoughts on this real quick, because I have said a little bit today here and there, but I've been towing the line. But I got a lot of thoughts on this. Shout out to KY Bob with the $10 super chat. You rock, dude. He says, it does make you wonder what the issue is with the co-op. We know it's not the AI, because those bots were holding their own in the flight test against 4-man teams. Sauce in the house. Well, the co-op, I don't know if you play co-op with bots anyway, but that would be pretty cool. If they announced that, that'd be a pretty cool feature, because
I think he was talking about enemies.
Oh yeah, with the AI. Well, then they wouldn't be able to launch the campaign, period. If the AI was screwed up, so that would really be crazy. Unless the enemies don't know how to react. Oh, there's 2 Spartans. I'm just going to freeze up. All right, so I think that 343 definitely made some big mistakes at some point during the development of this game that we are feeling today still. And it's another reason, the game got delayed a year, and I hear a lot of people upset saying that, hey, we need to delay this, delay it. That's the main cry I hear, okay, from on the internet. Now, for any person that's a fan of the Halo franchise, you need to ask yourself what's best for the game moving forward, okay? Not necessarily your own experience at the launch, okay? But what is the best for this franchise going forward? There's a lot of people that, I get it, you're upset because your main thing was the co-op campaign, right? That's your main thing that you were looking forward to, and that's why 343 screwed up with this, okay? Because there's a large amount of people that play this game where the primary focus they have is the co-op, right? So to launch this at the launch time without that included is a huge misstep. That being said, delaying the game is definitely not the right answer here, okay? You're moving the game out of the huge holiday window into February, right? You're delaying it again. You're going to, at that point, only add the co-op element, but you're moving it out of the best chance. And there's so much content ready there to succeed with Halo. According to them, was the best decision for the franchise, right? It was the best decision to not put this in. You got to think how hard that was, right? How hard was it to delay the game a year ago? And how hard was it for them to delay the game, to delay co-op out of launch? Like, God, you got to imagine like what they had to be going through their mind before they recorded that video. Like, oh my gosh, how am I going to not sound like a jackass right now when I'm saying this, you know? And
yeah,
if you release it and without co-op, you have the campaign experience, and then you have the free-to-play multiplayer. So selfishly, for me, I don't want the thing delayed because I usually only play the campaign single player first, okay? This time I was going to play co-op because my friends convinced me to, but I've always found the campaign as like more of an immersive storytelling experience, at least with my first playthrough, where I want to play through the game, I want to take in the story, I want to play at my pace, really focus on everything around me, and my mind's going to this open world, just not being able to wait to get my hands on that. And if delaying the co-op makes that the best experience it could possibly be at launch, then that's the right move, because I think they were going to launch the game November regardless, right? Mm-hmm. They were not going to miss the 20th anniversary window of Xbox and Halo for the launch. They're going to have probably, in my opinion, a huge launch party, a huge 20th anniversary event with a lead up to the launch of this game. And if you delay it to February, you miss out on that. You miss out on that opportunity. And unfortunately, guys, a lot of you are going to have to wait 3 months to play the co-op, and that includes me. But that for me means I can go through and play the campaign again with my friends, and it gives me something to look forward to. Should have been there at launch, but there's enough there at launch to keep me happy with the multiplayer, with the campaign. And if this is the most polished experience it possibly can be, if this is what the decision needs to be, then that's what we're riding with, and we need to roll with it and not keep asking for delays because of something maybe not being there at launch. Because guess what? These games are so freaking huge and ambitious, and Halo starts with such a precedent of having to have, okay, you got to have co-op, you got to have split screen, you got to have multiplayer, you got to have a campaign. Oh, where's Firefight at? Where's Forge mode at? They got to do all of this stuff. Name another game that it comes with that precedent where if you scratch one of those things, guess what? A large amount of people are extremely pissed off. And it's not Halo if it doesn't have that, right? Their plan, according to this, going with the game that they keep calling live service, even on that same video, is to keep coming out with content, which if these games keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and more ambitious, it might be the only way to make these things actually ever come out and them to take on these tasks to begin with. Because what is the alternative? Potentially not taking on that ambition to make a smaller, more focused experience to make sure you meet deadlines and not have the content come later. I don't want to live in that world with Halo either, right? So this is kind of like a screw up. They did mess up. It's the world we live in. Let's not have this crazy overreaction of emotion to like the Craig thing, right? Now, that being said, there was some more merit to that one, okay? But if they delay this again, it's not necessarily what's best for the franchise. It's not going to bring in the most players, and it's also already proven to be a great multiplayer experience.
Yeah, I mean, the delay thing is you're unfortunate because you're stuck now. People are saying, "Oh, we can play co-op later," but you don't get it. You want to play co-op the same time.
Yeah,
Halo
I don't.
fans are not going to wait.
Yeah, I get you.
Fine, I get it. Some people are split. They want to enjoy it on their own. I understand that as well. But after 3 months or 6 months, whatever, the appeal of playing that co-op is going to be dampened. It's going to be considerably. So it's a loss. It's a fat L. At least we're taking it. So, we have to, and we're used to that with 343. We did it in almost every facet of that game.
It's definitely
we took it single player, multiplayer, graphics, game modes. What else is left? Stability, the Master Chief Collection. I don't know. The whole thing about getting heads roll and management leaving, I don't want to comment on that. Not that I disagree with Pong. There has to be accountability. Who's accountable for it? We can't point fingers at anyone, so then we're stuck. Well, I don't think they're absolved. But it is what it is. It's sad. 343 are not a studio that inspire confidence in me anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and that's sad to say.
Were you confident though after the flight test?
I never got in on the flight test, but I was very happy with what I saw of the multiplayer.
So what if really happy with the campaign is absolutely astounding? The multiplayer is absolutely astounding. And 3 months later, the co-op launches and it's flawless experience.
Well, if the campaign's absolutely astounding, all that's going to be playing in the back of my mind is, oh my God, how much fun would this have been with my friends? But it may be, and I'm praying it will be astounding. I'm not asking for it to be bad. Halo, I will sacrifice games for Halo to be good.
Yeah, like
it's just, except Joe, except Song of Winter, except Song of Winter.
Don't send me back. Don't send me back.
Song of Iron, not Song of Iron. But yeah, no, it's just, it sucks.
It does suck. I'm not. And what sucks, like for me, I know you guys like I like I said, selfishly, I play usually the campaign solo because I want to play at my pace.
Song of Winter.
You know,
sorry, I said Song of Iron. I said Song of Winter.
Yeah, he said Song of Winter. I want to play that at my pace and really take everything in. It's that sequel, dude. That's not a bad title for getting a lot of the snow effects going on.
Self-titled second game, self-titled.
No, how about Song of Joe?
Joe of Iron.
Joe of Iron.
Nice.
No, hey, first of all, wait. First of all, I didn't call for any beheadings, Gaz. I said a review. So no one.
I heard tar and feather.
Yeah, I wasn't calling for public beheadings of anyone. Okay, so Gaz is sleep deprived right now, everybody. So no, I forgive him. The only thing I would say, Mav, is to your point. You know how much I give credit for teams that show ambition. When you were talking about the ambition part and how much, again, that Halo does and tries to do more than a lot of games ever will even consider. I agree with you, but my only pushback is, how many teams do you see this size? How many teams do you see with as much help as they put on this? Right?
And I put on
There's
Twitter
a reason why.
Earlier, like all of Activision, all of their studios work on Call of Duty, and it's the one game that right now supposedly this year is launching with co-op, multiplayer, and campaign at the same time, because Battlefield doesn't even have a campaign.
Nope.
They didn't want to take that on, right? Nope. So you imagine like the amount of work that goes into making these games, and supposedly Halo's single player campaign is bigger than any Halo we've seen before, right? We've already seen how much work they put into the multiplayer, right? So it's going to be crazy to see how it comes together, right?
But Activision wasn't working on a new engine as well, so you have to tie all that in. Right. So they're working on what they already had, so they got their engine down pat, so they can deliver what they can deliver. But I think Xbox tried to freaking warn us with talks about shipping out the multiplayer separate from the campaign earlier this year. And everybody sat there and was like pitchforking, like, don't do that. Hell no. And they sat down, had a meeting, and was like, what can we do? And this is what they came up with without delaying the entire game again.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, it's it's hard. We're stuck in the middle that we want it, but we also want all the features as well, like I said.
This inside story needs to be written. I swear this has got to be one of the most interesting things ever.
Can you imagine the inside story? It must be amazing.
It must be.
I want to know the truth about. I want to know the truth about why Joe Winter left.
Who got under your skin, Joe? So
I'll never tell.
Like, Matt, for me, when I'm thinking about this too, right? Okay, in the grand scheme of things, for Halo Infinite 2, like 3 months and then 6 months is really a small time because they're planning this game for a long thing with lots of seasonal content and all these things. So I'm thinking, where does Halo Infinite going to look like 3 or 4 years from now? Right? They're not just going to stop at the Forge. They're not going to stop at, the co-op, and they're going to stop with all that stuff. They're going to keep adding content to this thing over the lifespan of the game. We've already seen what they've done to Master Chief Collection. As bad as it launched to where that game is now, it's absolutely insane, right? So I'm hoping Halo Infinite doesn't have the kind of launch that Master Chief Collection did by any means. But that being said, when you keep coming out with all this content is already planned. They already got the first year already roadmapped, right? That's what Joe said in that video. The next, what's going to happen year 2, 3, 4, 5? There's going to be so much content in Halo Infinite over the lifespan that in the long run of things, we're probably not even going to remember that co-op wasn't there at launch. Maybe. Personally.
Just keep thinking about, like, I remember, like, being on different podcasts about, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, right? We played the tech preview and it was amazing, and everybody knows on this panel that I love Halo. It's one of my but I just keep thinking about, like, when Cyberpunk was being launched and everybody was just like,
no, don't compare this to
delayed.
Cyberpunk.
I'm trying not to, but it keeps
I saw somebody do that.
I can't.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not the same thing. This is not
if it had come out last year, it might have been.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I'm thinking about
Cyberpunk
that.
didn't even have co-op.
I'm thinking about, like, they were trying to release this game like a year ago. Like, that's in the back of my head, and I'm thinking about, like, with Cyberpunk, when they just kept delaying the game, and then eventually, they're like, okay, well, it's coming out, and you saw the state it came out in because everyone wanted it, like, then and there, because the game looked amazing. And to his credit, I do love the Cyberpunk storyline, but with Halo Infinite, I don't know, like, to me, again, it's such a pillar for co-op for me, right? So other people are like, okay, it's not that important, or whatever the case is, and to me, I'm gonna play it regardless. But it is sometimes I think it's really good to be critical of things, because you think about what Xbox has done and this year, and just different things where the community would say stuff and then they would fix it, right? That happened with Halo, that happened with the Xbox Live Gold situation, right? They were trying to charge more for gold, people pushed back against it. Not saying they're going to delay the game here, but if you just sort of stay stagnant, then I don't know what 343 would be doing with the franchise. I don't think if it wasn't for the community, I'm not sure if Joe Staten would be in Infinite. There's just so many repercussions for people saying things. They're just like not just letting things go la-di-da-di-da.
And I want to make sure, I am basically speaking on not delaying the game, right? There is definitely criticism to be had at the feet of 343, right? This is, I agree with a lot of people, kind of an inexcusable thing. But all that being said, it's the situation that we're in now. So we got to look at, do we delay it or not delay it? And 343 is going to feel the effects of this, and they got to deliver because of this, right? This only puts more pressure on them.
I don't think they're going to delay it. There's no way they're going to delay it.
They can't.
No, they can't.
They can't.
No, they won't delay it.
No.
No.
No, that's not. That's not happening. The L
They
has
said
been
they're committed.
delivered.
Right.
No, we'll get a
delivered.
date next week. Next week they're gonna give us the date of Gamescom.
Tuesday. Yeah.
They are. They're
No,
gonna
that
give
makes
us the
sense.
date.
We're waiting on the shoe to drop for the COD release date. We got that. For me, if we can get this huge Halo/Xbox 20th anniversary event on November 15th, which is 10 days after COD releases, and then have this midnight launch event for Halo where you come out, which is a Tuesday, which used to be the release date for games, which is the 16th. You kind of have the 16th as the official release date, but technically it's going to hit at like 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. on Monday night, right? The 15th. I think that would be absolutely awesome because you could have like a 3-hour celebration or something that's televised for Xbox, get everybody behind it, a fan fest thing, and then release that sucker at midnight, make the servers go live for the multiplayer. Everybody jumps into the campaign, and you're not going to hear a lot of talking about co-op at that moment. Right.
Yeah.
If that happens.
No, I mean, even though they did say that, the co-op campaign is going to be delayed for 3 months, they could ultimately fix whatever is causing the delay and still have it out by release. And then the only thing now being delayed is Forge, which to me is
that'd be
huge.
okay. But I doubt
So-
that was gonna happen, man.
I know, but it could be if
Hopefully.
they stick to the November 15th, like I was hoping for October, but with this news, November 15th
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
It's going
I
to be
mean,
the 19th or the 23rd. Mark
if
my
they can
words.
do
Okay.
this a mid-November release and then be able to have co-op and be like, hey, you know what, we were able to work out the bugs, here it is, and if it's flawless and it's perfect, and not having Forge, I don't think it will hit it as hard with if it released without the co-op experience, truthfully. So
Yeah.
I think it would be in a better place if they were able to fix and have co-op available at launch.
I do
Yeah.
feel sad for you though, Gaz.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people that's their
it's breaking
primary
my heart.
experience.
I'd rather be paying 4s of 5, but like it's breaking my heart even for
Yeah.
you so bad.
You can see the pain. You can see the pain in his face.
It's just it's seeping out of him that he's nearly crying.
We,
I can't take it anymore.
it's one of those things like co-op is the primary Halo for some people in the same way that multiplayer is the primary Halo for a lot of people. And a lot of people in the comments and stuff are saying like, they don't care that much because they only play X, Y, and Z, but
Mhm.
that's not everybody. And we
Exactly.
forget, it's like, it's such an anecdote to say, well, I do this, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if the sniper rifle's not in. I'm terrible at it. It's better for me. Cut the sniper. Hashtag cut the sniper rifle.
Exactly.
That's
Just
it
like-
matters, it
Just
matters.
like I
get
want them to
upset.
take the shotgun out of Gears, like just get rid of the thing.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
the
It's-
Don't
Nasher
say that just because
is-
you
No,
don't
just get
like
rid
it,
of it.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He said that to me forever, just because I
Yes.
shoot his head off with.
Oh,
a
that's
shotgun.
the core element that's wrong with Gears, but you can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's
loves
what you
Right.
say.
Yeah.
I love the
It's all
shotgun.
good, though.
It works for me.
Game will be good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No,
That's the
I am
important
sad
thing.
for anybody who was hoping it would come out as a whole. That is sad, and I'm not such a big fan as these guys are of it. But like, I'll play it. I'm getting slightly better at it. But,
Yeah.
like, it's not a big deal to me personally. But that doesn't mean to say I can't feel unhappy about the situation, and upset for my friends who
But
can't.
it's gonna
Like that-
launch.
It's a shitty
Yeah.
situation, but yeah, it's gonna lie.
It is, and it doesn't matter whichever way you look at it. It's a letdown, and
Yeah.
people are going to be disappointed, and therefore, people have to be a little bit more kinder.
yeah, just don't delay it, please.
Yeah, I don't think it delays on the cards at all anyway, but just like 3-Bit was saying, we were having conversations with Colt and Miles. We're like talking about, let's do co-op together, let's play this
Yeah.
together, like planning
Mm.
content, let's make videos about it. It's gonna be fun. The excitement's gone.
Yeah,
And
Red versus
it
Blue
is
is
what-
going to
I think
come back
we-
with Gaz at the helm.
yeah, that'd be wicked.
But I want to
But
wear
yeah,
a purple
but-
suit. I want it to be purple against orange.
Why, Lupa? You're not allowed to talk about Halo anymore.
Right. I think it'd be really cool to have different colors against each other. Like the team choose the color, and not just be told you have to be blue or red.
Well, we could talk Halo until we're blue, guys. This was a huge topic, so we had to get lots of great takes on here. And honestly, I think most of us are of the same mind for the most part. I think 3-Bit wants it to be delayed. Other than that, like I think most of us are good. Let's just launch it, and then it sucks, you know, but it is what it is right now, unfortunately. And 343 is gonna, you know, have to deal with the bad feedback from this kind of screw
I hope
up.
it doesn't ruin it for people, and I hope it doesn't ruin it for the devs either.
It puts more pressure on them, and the game's got to be better because of it, right? So KY Bob with a $10 super chat says, great speech, Mav. I agree that a delay is out of the question. I always make a run on legendary difficulty with friends anyway instead of by myself, so it can wait a few months. Then he said, then Dan Lazaro with the $5 super chat. He says, it's selfish to say delay the whole game when the campaign and multiplayer is ready. Apparently, COVID didn't affect 343 and Halo, right, Gaz?
You'll be saying that if it's 2035, people still be saying COVID. No, man. Like other studios are pulling through. COVID is hard. You delayed it, and then what happens? A few months before the release, is that a perpetual excuse for everything? No, it's not an excuse for an incomplete game. Yeah. Demand better, people. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? No, wait. No, wait. All right, sorry.
You'll find the right button eventually.
No, but
that's what she said.
Yeah, no, COVID has been a mad excuse. I'm seeing people like literally have Stockholm syndrome. They're basically saying, "Don't critique my favorite game. You're not allowed to critique it." I'm not saying that's what whoever super chat you read was saying. I'm just saying, I've seen this before, man. It's just like, I get it. It's frustrating when someone's always being a downer, but if you've been on the journey some of us have with Halo from day one, from the forums, day one, it just comes from a position.
There's a lot of things that don't deserve criticism, like the article about people can't fly in Game Pass. Like Game Pass didn't deserve the criticism with that. Then there was like Phil's comments or whatever, and then people saying, "Oh, he doesn't want to make AAA games," or whatever. That doesn't deserve any time or criticism whatsoever. What deserves criticism is something like this, because this is actually affecting the things that people are going to play, right? So this is a real thing, and regardless of what our opinions are on it, this is a thing that deserves some criticism here, right? Now, it's not to say that, hey, it's the end of the world, right? It's not like, oh, Halo is doomed because of this. That's where some people run with it. There's a level that you kind of have to think like, okay, this sucks for a lot of people that were really looking forward to it, and I feel really bad for them. Now, what's best for the franchise and going forward, and let's do that, and hopefully they learn from this, right? That's all right now that we can do and say, you know.
The flagship title, ladies and gentlemen. 6 years in the making.
Hey, The Last of Us 2 still doesn't have multiplayer.
Yeah, and that's a failing as well. And I called it out. Same energy.
So and then here's another thing. Okay, like interesting thing here, right? That I was thinking about. Now, I'm not trying to like start something here, but you know, the Ghost of Tsushima launched with free co-op. Or it didn't launch, but it came out with free co-op, right? So if they just never announced that to begin with, it doesn't set that precedent, then you're winning people over by coming out with a free co-op mode when that content maybe internally, who knows, was supposed to be there at launch to begin with, right? This is still content coming after the fact. Whether the fact that we anticipated it day one or not, we're still getting it, right? It sucks because Halo has that expectation and it has that precedent. But a game like Ghost of Tsushima never had that expectation and never had that precedent, right? Halo once was a new IP. Halo didn't come out originally with Forge mode. It didn't originally come out with online co-op. You know, it didn't originally
come out with those expectations, though, Mav. It came out fresh as a fetus that took us by storm.
The price of success. Yeah. It's the price of success. The price of
success. You're right, Pong.
It is.
You know,
you take that on. I mean, that's just
don't hate
the
player,
things.
hate the game.
And to be fair, all those different Halos with like Bungie's Halos came out with those features. That's just That's just the thing.
Bungie's Halos came out.
I think some of them, the features didn't come at launch though. Even Like, I don't think every Halo that we've gotten since then had co-op, Forge, single player, and everything at launch, ready to go.
No, Forge
Halo
came
3
after.
brought it. Yeah.
And then also, like Halo 3 ODST was a full price game, and it didn't have multiplayer. It used Halo 3's multiplayer.
I was critical about that as well.
You know,
I was
they had
critical about
Firefight. So, and where's Firefight? You know, the one the other criticism, I'm trying to move on from Halo, but like the other thing.
Joe's like, please.
I left the studio and these idiots have invited me to their show, barely talked about my game, and I talked about my old game, the studio that I left.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like, hey, can we talk about something I haven't worked on, please? You know? So, the $60 game for Halo campaign. I've talked to people about this before, right? But if you're not putting that like co-op experience in at the launch, well, I don't really know everything that's even in the game. They haven't really told us, like, other than just a single player open world game. Like, there's so little information on what the game is right now, where you do have other games that are like, hey, we're going to do this with all the content, with the campaign. Like, they give us a lot of information. Right now, there's not a lot of information on what the actual is included for the $60 that you're going to be paying for the Halo Infinite campaign. So that's the one piece that I just would like more information on that soon, maybe at Gamescom, hopefully. We need to get some more clarification on that, even if it's on a website with a bunch of bullet points. Just give us more info about what's included other than just the single player story experience. Moving on. Finally.
But I think they will, though. Before we go,
They will.
I think they will after the next flight. After the next flight and at the celebration, I think they're gonna just give us the laundry list of everything that this is in, and then we're gonna be like, okay, shit, let's get it. Let's go multiplayer.
Okay,
sorry.
Skyrim, another hot topic.
Shit.
Okay.
I didn't work on that. I don't know anything about it.
Okay. So, I saw this spreading around today about Skyrim Anniversary and the announcement of Skyrim Anniversary, and I saw a lot of people saying this is so screwed up. It's the same thing as Ghost of Tsushima, and so I'm like, oh my gosh, no, you guys are not reading this properly, because it is completely not the same thing. Because I don't think anybody is complaining about having to play for DLC or extra content in Ghost of Tsushima. People are complaining about having to pay $10 for the enhancement of Ghost of Tsushima. And not only that, but you can't even get the option of paying the $10 for the Ghost of Tsushima upgrade unless you buy the $20 DLC, right? So that is the core difference of getting a free optimization upgrade for next gen and then having an option to upgrade for extra to get extra content. It is completely two different scenarios. That being said, that is what is out there right now, and people are using this too for like console war stuff and craziness. This kind of falls in line with the Phil Spencer thing to me, and also with the people can fly thing. But I've even seen some people that are usually like Xbox guys like misunderstand this and everything. So Joe, have you seen this, or do you have an opinion on next gen optimization and like what they're doing with Skyrim? Because some are saying this is like the same thing as the director's cut.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked too much in it, and I never played Skyrim. Blasphemy as that may sound, but
what?
I know, man. It's one that I like missed it, and then it felt too late. But I feel like maybe it's never too late.
Yeah.
Okay, after launch.
Like
after launch.
After launch, November 11th, they've already given you the date, Joe. It's time to jump in, brother. Take a vacation.
This is why they're doing it. It's for me.
Right.
I needed it. I needed a reason. Yeah, I know. It's just one of those games. I just missed it. I can't. Someone Plasma saying cancel Joe. Thank you. I needed it. I finally been canceled.
Let his game come out first, then we can cancel him. Okay.
Yeah. Wait till I can almost make it and then get rid of it. I don't know. I mean, I think it feels more like old games being sold again on new consoles than it is like the director's cut. Because like the Ghost of Tsushima just came out, and so it feels weirder that they're like, hey, here you go, another $30 for the same thing. compared to like, oh, we did the upgrade, so now it runs on the new kit. If you still are interested in it, here it is for $10. Like, we know it's an old game. Those things are kind of the same, but for whatever reason, they feel a little different. And because Skyrim's on its like 3rd generation, it makes it a little bit more like, can we just have a new one now? Like, stop whatever you're doing. Go,
to your point, right? We're about to be sold on a new GTA 5.
Yeah.
That is a remaster again for next gen that they're going to resell, but it's not going to be available in Game Pass, or you're not going to get a free upgrade for it, right? So this is a free upgrade for anybody that's already bought the game, as opposed to having to buy the game all over again. Gaz, what are your thoughts? Like, I've seen some people like, say, hey, this is a director's cut. Like,
okay, so let's be real here. A lot of this has been fueled by console war motivations. It is console war motivations. I've just been seeing multitude of people. The ones who have been really outspoken about this are console warring, which is just hilarious to me, because if you're going to see this as 2 sides, PlayStation versus Xbox, those guys were happy pay 70 quid for their games, and the complainants are the ones who buy these director's cuts. So you're getting the game for free for Game Pass. What I've seen very, very abundantly clearly is Game Pass has posed a threat to the narrative of some people. They're so insecure about what it's doing that we saw earlier this week? Yeah, the Xbox Game Pass and Outriders fiasco, essentially the developers saying, they haven't seen their royalty. So just from that, they're guessing that the game hasn't been profitable. And then all of a sudden people jumped out. Xbox Game Pass is the reason why it wasn't profitable. Apparently the Xbox Game Pass is the reason why, the publishers didn't divulge the numbers to them. So they don't have the numbers. So apparently Xbox Game Pass is the reason why it didn't sell well on PlayStation and on PC. It's rooted in that. I think people are being really just ungrateful. You're getting the game for Game Pass. It's not the same thing as the director's cut. It's really rooted in that. It's completely unfair. Unless I can see someone substantiate that more, considerably better, then I can't see it anything more than that. Is anyone else think this is quite unfair that they're not getting this DLC? Which, if I remember correctly, it's a collection of like fan-made mod stuff. It's not even
500 pieces of Creator Club. Yeah.
So everybody wants that for free.
Yeah, they want everything for free. It just doesn't make sense. But at the same time, the same people. I literally saw a chap whose name I won't mention, who has been masquerading, defending the $70 director's cut thing, and did like some group mad, the Twitter chat things, like whatever it is.
Spaces. Yeah.
And then they were like, massive failure, Game Pass is a scam, or something like to that effect. And I'm just thinking, what the hell, man? This is ridiculous. Sorry, K-Med, I will get closer to my microphone. This mic is giving me all sorts of grief. But yeah, I don't know. If you guys think I may be wrong, and maybe it's justified, I can't see that. But if someone can give me a reason why, that'd be great.
Does anybody here have a valid reason why? Because there's 8 of us, so surely some of us could come up with a reason why anybody would be upset with this.
I just think Skyrim, GTA 5, same boat, forget them. They're old, past it, fed up with it, don't want to hear it anymore, don't care.
But let's say, Lupa, you already own Skyrim, you bought it, and you love the game. It's one of your favorite games. And you find out you're getting a next-gen upgrade for free. Would you be
I'd be
happy
over the
about
moon,
that?
wouldn't I?
Yeah, me too.
Like I am with plenty of my other games. I wouldn't be paying the $10 PlayStation ones or the $70 for their base game. And then a few months later, they want a director's cut out of me. No, thank you.
Now, would you be upset if they announced, hey, there's all this extra content that we're going to put in a different version of the game that is available for new players to purchase, right?
No.
And then you can upgrade to that version
just like
for a small
DLC.
Exactly.
That's just, to me, that's DLC. And if you want the DLC, you're getting the game for free. And this is what I do with Forza now. Forza's never leaving Game Pass. Forza Horizon 5 will never leave Game Pass. So I now do not have to spend £70 or £60 or even £100 buying the whole game at the collector's edition or whatever. I can now not buy the game and spend my money buying the DLC.
Yeah.
So I win all round because the DLC is cheaper than the actual.
Yeah, I saw this news and I was like, oh my God, this is freaking awesome. You know, because I'd actually been one of those saying, hey, I want to see that update for Skyrim just because it's one of the biggest games ever made, like as far as popularity, as far RPGs wise and everything like that. It's like one of the most popular Western RPGs ever made. That's why it's on so many platforms. That's why it keeps getting re-released to different things and stuff. And it still looks good and plays good with FPS boost, right? It's like, wow, it's a great experience. But playing it is like, man, it still it looks dated though. Even though it's got the FPS boost, it looks dated. I was like, man, if they could just update it like visually, this would be insane because it's still such a great game. And that's what we're getting now. And guess what?
Right.
We don't have to pay for it. So that's cool.
I would rather play The Witcher than I would play Skyrim. I got bored with Skyrim. And
well, that one's getting a free
troubles
next gen
going with it
update
at the
too,
time.
Lupa.
Yeah, I know. I'm
It's
waiting
crazy.
for it. But like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where people get the wrong end of the stick and they run with the narrative, and it doesn't do anybody any good, and they may as well just shut up and either pay for the DLC or don't.
So
That's your choice.
I don't completely get what the controversy is about. Can someone like break it down and explain it? Because
Pong.
somebody-
Pong's the best at breaking down things.
It's straight up what we always talk about 3-bit. Either you're willfully ignorant or you're intellectually dishonest when it comes to console wars, right? That's what it is. These clowns that run around in the circus, this is what they do. So basically all they've done is taken this anniversary edition and saying that, number one, they're charging Xbox users for it, right? And they're trying to correlate that with the complaint like Mav talked about that, you know, Sony was charging $10 extra for next gen upgrades alone with Ghost of Tsushima, and they were placing that $10 upgrade behind the DLC, right? But they're conflating those two and trying to say that this anniversary edition for Skyrim should be included with Game Pass because we've been told that everything that is first party Microsoft is now in Game Pass. But they choose to ignore that the DLC has never been a part of that package, right? When it comes to certain games, right? Like, you know, Lupa just brought up Forza Horizon. The DLC has always been extra. So they're trying to say that the anniversary edition is a complete game and should be included with Game Pass. Obviously, that's not true. And the
crazy thing is too, Pong, those 3 expansions,
yes,
the big expansions for Skyrim are included. This is only creator content. So okay,
correct, creator content, and the next gen upgrades are going to be given to us for free. They're not locked behind the anniversary edition.
No.
You don't have to buy the anniversary edition to get it. You get Skyrim in Game Pass, and those next gen upgrades are going to come with free of charge.
Yep.
So again, willfully ignorant or intellectually dishonest. That's all they do. This is how they play this game. Again, the clowns run wild with it, like, you know, Gaz was talking about. Again, instantly. I wasn't on social media hardly at all today, but when I popped on there, I saw at least 3 spaces, either talking about Skyrim or talking about Halo Dead on Arrival. Again, all this stuff is just a joke. It's just to drum up the attention that they always ask for. It's the clown show. It's the circus. It never stops, but this is what they're trying to do. So whatever.
Great explanation.
That actually does help because I've seen so many people twist it and be like, "Oh, look, you have to pay for a game that's not in Game Pass." And I didn't like go into the reading because I've just been gone.
Yeah,
but like, yeah, that makes sense. That you clarified.
Yeah. You can even choose to upgrade if you want.
Yeah,
just for the
you don't have to buy
content.
Yeah, you don't have to buy the whole package. They're going to give us an option for Game Pass users to buy a smaller portion. So,
good friend of mine said, "You can't fix stupid."
Yeah. Anybody
Is that
else
dealer?
like, really excited about this though? Like I was actually really happy about it. Gaz, have you ever played Skyrim?
I have, but never actually completed it. Am I excited for it? No, it's because it's one of those that the time the ship has sailed for me. The time is such a rare commodity. I spent so much time trying
That's
to be
true.
good at Apex Legends anyway. So don't have time for that.
It's because you run like 1,000 yards ahead of your teammates, Gaz. You need to slow down a little bit. You need to just slow down. I can't keep up. Right.
Praise God, Howard. He's giving us fishing. That's all that matters. There's fishing in Skyrim. So I'm good. I can proudly say I have not bought an edition of Skyrim since 360, even though it's one of my all-time favorite games. I never went out and bought another edition, but I might just do it for this one because it's got fishing in it. So
I'll buy this.
And it's in Game Pass.
You're gonna upgrade your version, or are you gonna
Yes.
actually buy like a box?
no, I'll
edition?
upgrade the version.
Yeah.
No, here's
That's the advantage of Lupa was talking about.
exactly. Is there going to be fishing in Song of Iron?
That's what.
No, there isn't.
No.
No.
Oh, I can't. I'll have to
See,
cancel the
yeah.
pre-order now. I
It didn't
can't
make it
possibly-
launch
I
though,
can't
right?
possibly
Yeah,
have
just
a
say
game
it's a
without
3-month
fishing.
delay.
3
Yeah,
months.
just say it's a 3-month delay.
Just 3 months.
Delay fishing.
Episode 6.
It'll be available in season 2 of Song of Iron.
Confirmed on this show.
Okay.
I could not believe when I had to fish in frickin' Hades. Damn.
Oh yeah,
What's
man,
got to
Hades,
do?
so good. Originally, what I was planning for this before all this news and awesome stuff happened this week, I was like, hey, let's talk about all these indie games. But hey, Pong shared in our DMs the other day the Black Myth Wukong video.
Wow, what a game!
And hey, like this is a
I've
plea
seen
for
better.
Xbox.
No.
Hey, get this so I can play it in Game Pass, man, because this is crazy. Dude.
Has anybody checked on Phil? Is he in China right now? Because
Yeah.
he should be. He should be.
He's been quiet. He's been
Please
quiet.
get hold of it. But no, even if it's not in Game Pass, I'm buying
No.
it.
Oh,
I'm not even worried
and
about
I'm
Game
sure
Pass.
Every
I just
freaking penny will be worth it.
right. I'm not even worried about Game Pass, Lupa. I just
No.
don't want it to miss Xbox.
No, I
They
don't. I know
cannot.
it has to be on Xbox. Gotta
Yeah.
be.
It
on
has to have
Xbox.
co-op. I'm just kidding.
Better not have any bloody co-op.
No, but this. I mean,
so
this.
incredible.
It is amazing. Like this is apparently an indie. Well, I don't know much about the. So that everyone views. I feel like everyone views Chinese development with a bit of skepticism because of what happened with what's that game?
Abandoned?
No,
I'm just kidding.
Abandoned's not Chinese.
It might as well be. It doesn't exist. So I'm just.
I forgot the game now. It's a first-person game. It's supposed to come out on Xbox.
Oh,
we'll
you're
run-
talking. Oh, you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. It's just annoying. It's annoying. I
Yes.
can't believe.
Yes.
It's that.
we
It's
know.
that game, guys. You remember that
It's that
game?
game. It's
Yeah.
that game.
What?
But,
Are you talking about Scale Bomb?
Gaz, you've gone
No.
up 2
That's good.
octaves again.
Oh, I've gone up or down? Up. Oh, that's good because my mic doesn't
Because
pick
you're
up my voice.
stressed.
no, I'm not stressed. But you know, Black
Right
Myth
Memory
Wukong,
Infinite.
that's the one.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
And
has
how
fishing?
that developed. Yeah, yeah. But this game looks, to me, it looks. They've comprehensively shown gameplay for this and for a wide variety of scenarios. And one thing I just love is the mythology behind it. And I've been reading up on it based on what people in the YouTube comments saying. So Chinese mythology is actually incredibly fascinating,
It
and
is.
it just
Monkey
challenges
King.
the Monkey King. It's there's so much being brought in together. We've seen glimpses of these kind of narratives in Dragon Ball Z and other bits.
Yes.
You know, Jackie Chan's movies as well. But there's a deep lore that the story seems very fresh. I'm so sick and tired of the same narrative tropes here, and I get it. This is like a hero thing, but it's very different because it's coming from Far East Asia, and then
Completely
combine
new
that
IP.
with a new IP with new take on it from a new region. I love seeing different regions come up with the take because you get the same old samey kind of narrative tropes. This is very different, but this hits all the things because it looks stunning as well. This is one of the best looking next gen titles I've seen. What they showed off recently this week, I was just like, oof. Look, think about the sum of the whole of everything they've shown so far. The snow and the way that was deforming. The dragon, oh my god, that
Yeah, the
design.
dragon.
Cicada.
Yeah.
They keep doing
it's
things that
fun.
I've never seen before. Even like
it's
with certain
tiny.
things, like the way the characters move, or like
Yeah.
you know, the statue becomes like the character at the beginning of that
Oh,
trailer,
man.
and you're like it keeps surprising you. You know,
And you
what I
turn
mean?
into that
Flying.
weird bat
You turn
thing
into
and
that
flying.
bat flying
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And a cicada in the first trailer they showed over a year
Yeah.
ago. You turn into a cicada and you fly through a camp. And I just think it's a new IP, and that's something I've been hoping for next gen. And they've got all the tools to make it amazing, and it's going to be a real true next gen title.
Can I jump into the question for 3-Bit? Since 3-Bit has worked on Unreal 5 already, he's had his hands on it. This game to me, 3-Bit, almost appears almost too good to be true. Now, do you think, and I'm not stating that in any way, shape, or form that this is too good to be true, but I'm just saying from the looks of it, we haven't seen anything close to this. Not even the epic demo that they did came close to this. The Coalition's demo was amazing, but it didn't come close to this. This is in-game supposed action. Like, do you think a dev already could have that kind of command of Unreal 5 to pull this off like they have? I mean, it's truly stunning. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, I won't lie. When I first saw it, I had that thought in my head.
Yeah.
And I was essentially thinking about what happened with Anthem, right? That game basically didn't exist. They basically showed a lot of assets that wasn't actually there, and that was like in a bunch of development things that came out later that was their first time, a lot of the developers' first time seeing the game, and the game wasn't actually there. In this case, I think it looks great. I mean, Unreal 5 is very powerful, right? It's very impressive with what's in Lumen and Nana. It's almost industry changing how you're able to have movie ready assets in a video game and cutting down production processes. And Joe could probably speak to that too. But for the most part, yeah, I can't say I'm not skeptical, but I'm also, I think the team over there is very talented. I don't know. I'm kind of like on the fence of it, like of
What about Joe?
what's gonna come
like
out.
Joe,
Yeah.
the dev's
Yeah.
perspective on this. I was really intrigued.
Yeah, what do you think?
I think this is legit. I mean, there's just too much combat for it to be
Yeah.
faked. I think it's
Yeah.
you can see game things happening in the combat too.
Mhm.
You know, if you look real close and stuff. And I think if you were to go back and watch the Unreal 5 reveal like demo and then watch this, you're gonna recognize some of the lighting things that
On the
are like not
rocks and
right.
stuff, especially.
Yeah, you're gonna recognize it. It's gonna kind of feel like part of the same thing. So I actually think it's super legit. Like it's probably running on a 3090 or something.
Yeah.
But the nanite stuff and the lumen stuff is super powerful, and it looks so good because of those systems. That's like we're getting into real time global illumination and all these things that we faked for a long time. So you always kind of never felt quite right, and it's now real calculation at real runtime, and it's not baked in. And these things are coming, and they're going to get better and better and better. And it's like, as long the thing is like it looks so good, the game has to be good too, right? Like
Yeah.
it's so easy to get like sucked
Yeah.
into that stuff. But it, like the animations look amazing, the motion of the fights look phenomenal, and I am very excited for it because of that. It feels to me like a group of game devs like myself that just sort of wanted to get away from all the rules of a bigger studio, and they left, which is, I'm pretty sure they're a collection of some other studio. that left.
Tencent. They came from
Tencent.
Tencent.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
one of Tencent's big studios, right?
Yep.
And it just screams like, we can make a better game if you just let us do it.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that's in it is like, wouldn't it be sweet to fight a flying freaking dragon on an ice lake, but like do it like how it would really be, not like a faked boss fight? Let's do that. And they did it, and it's clearly like, you know. And so I couldn't be more excited. I love that they're using Unreal 5. It makes I'm inspired to make, you know, Song look that much better next time around, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, that's a
Awesome.
sick point you made about the fact that it's sorry to cut you out that 3-bit.
No
I'm just gonna say this point about it screams a mission statement, like let us show you how it's done. It feels
Yeah.
like that, like it's like they're really flexing their dev muscles with this one, and it's so diverse though. They're really showing off unashamedly, not super ultra scripted. You want to see the combat, you want to see exploration. We'll show you a multitude of environments,
Yeah.
so much so in this gameplay that it has more than full games have. It's amazing. I have high hopes for this, and I'm praying that it does well, man. It plays as well as it looks. But
Did you guys see
Yeah.
the
I
Did you
mean-
guys see the studio head is now in trouble?
Yeah.
He got a little uppity on social media over in China, which is never a good thing.
Oh,
no.
my
And yeah, I
God.
threw out a bunch of sexual stuff. And a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Oh.
crazy.
The
I
thing
go
is,
read
like,
it, Gaz. You'd be dying right now.
I think the game looks great, and the first trailer that I believe was Unreal Engine 4. I don't know if they had it, and now I guess they're moving their assets to Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
And I agree with Joe. I do think it's a real game. What keeps the skepticism in me is just because of like kind of where they got away from Tencent, right? They became like their own sort of independent studio, and then Tencent is very much now involved in the finances of the game. So I'm just like, it's just like small stuff like that. It just makes me think about like, okay, like I'm very, very excited for this game. But I've been burnt before. And
when did they
I'm
say
just
it's supposed to
thinking
come
about
out? Do they have like a
2023,
When-
I
when
think
it's
they
done.
hinted at. Yeah,
When
they
it's
said,
done.
yeah.
or
Unlike
something?
Halo.
When it's done.
But this game doesn't have to worry about
Yeah.
co-op.
No,
Oh, man.
no, it does
Game-
not.
They,
It
they
looks
said
amazing.
they said they were taking inspiration. I think they said the article that I read said it was taking inspiration from Sekiro, and you can kind of see that like when you're watching. They said a Sekiro style game as well. Like for me, like Souls-like games, like Sekiro seems more like story based as well. So you have like more motivations, right, with it.
Yeah.
So I can
And
kind of
it's-
get
yeah.
that from this trailer.
Oh,
I can see that game model of the kind of Soulsborne thing gives me more assurance that it's real, or it represents the real game, because we've all been fooled before. Because, and forgive me for saying this, actually don't forgive me for saying it. What I was going to say is that fighting model, it's not restrictive, but it's not like it's wildly ambitious. Like Joe's game, that's different. That's a lot more fluid, throw an axe, and a lot more physics based, where that's, in my mind, the combat system in Black Myth Wukong is very rigid, like Soulsborne games tend to be. But that actually gives me confidence that, like, all right, they're going for that. We all know that the core gameplay elements aren't out there. It's not that they're refined, but they're not going for something that has never been done before. As far as I'm concerned, so that looks like, okay, fine. This game exists. This looks like it's going to do well. We kind of see a lot of the combat quite comprehensively, all the move lists in there. It's just the way they've executed looks really cool and unique. But yeah, no, it's different. But Joe, your game's a lot more ambitious in terms of combat. If actually your game is designed around combat, isn't it? When you designed your game, you must have thought about the combat first before setting, surely.
Yeah, big time. I mean, I think when I started, it was really just like, my animation skills are my primary skill. So if I
Yeah.
do something that's like very animation driven, that would
Yeah.
be good. That would like ease me into it a lot. And then adding the physicsness to it, and then not wanting to do big elaborate combos led to this other thing, which, it's not a super complicated combat, but it's hopefully a very just sort of little unique, I guess. I don't want to claim it's
It is.
revolutionary or something, but
It's fun.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why
just a little
I enjoy it.
that's why it looks good. That's why it looks good to us. It's
Yeah.
the cadence in your
Yeah.
combat systems.
yeah, that's the right word.
Yeah, it's
Cadence,
like
yeah.
feels like it flows. That's why everyone combined that with the incredibly dank visuals. Dank means good. Yeah, it's just everything, the sound, everything, the feeling, the physicality of the combat in Song of Iron is stand out, and that's
Yeah.
what the beta
Cheers.
showed, man.
I do miss having a shield with a bow and arrow though.
Yeah.
A shield with a bow and arrow.
How about put a
How's that work?
crossbow in the middle of a shield? That'd be pretty badass. Hey,
He's got an M16. He's
Yeah,
got an
there you
M16
go.
for the trolls.
I have a question for Joe though, about we've been just in indie game heaven the last few weeks, right? Like, is there any of these that really like stood out for you and kind of has you like, wow, like I'm in great company with this month? This could end up going as the best month for indie games in Xbox history.
It's a monster, right? Like it is. There's nothing stopping it. I think it's the worst part is I haven't been able to play like anything because it's just like I'm buying them and putting them on the shelf until and it's like for like 2 weeks. You know, it's like I'm almost there. I just need to get a little further.
You're allowed to not do that. You're excused.
Yeah, it's okay. But you know, it's like, I mean, the Ascent came out. I know there's some mixed feelings, but generally people are digging it and they'll fix any issues that there are. 12 minutes people seem to be raving about, and that came out yesterday. Or was that today officially?
Dude, I started playing that game. I started a stream yesterday, and I was like, okay, I got Madden came out today, 12 minutes came out today,
Quake,
and then Quake Remastered came out today. So I'm gonna like go through and I'm gonna play these games on stream, kind of hop around. So I started with 12 minutes first. My stream didn't end for 7 hours, and that's all I played. It was 12 minutes of the game. I just got sucked in. It was so good.
Amazing. Man. Yeah, Omno just came out, and that people are digging, and it's just such a wonderful, simple experience and stuff. And I think there's a lot of people, and I've been talking to people who found Song of Iron through the Steam's Next Fest, which was the most recent kind of the Steam only demo or whatever. But Next Fest in general, just like opening people's eyes to like how many good little indie games there are, and like remembering that gaming isn't always this monstrous thing like some Call of Duty game or a Madden game. Like gaming can be this little thing that you just play and you love and you think about and remember and move on to the next one. Like it's Xbox is like hitting at this wonderful time, and I feel really lucky that I'm in this kind of moment. But I think people are remembering indies a little bit, not just that Xbox is having a great month, but there's a bit of, it feels like a resurgence, and like there's a bunch of them are one-man teams, and it's crazy that it's all coming, and it shows that tools are getting better. We should see more and more and more of this stuff, I hope, because it's awesome. It does so much for the industry as a whole too, because then, you know, we can put out ideas that we can't build or we don't have enough money to make a certain way, and then some other studio can, you know, elevate it, like Epic work, you know, making Fortnite into what's it called? But you know, I mean, it's awesome. It's awesome, and yeah, I mean, maybe this month is the big one, but I just see it won't be the big one for very long. There's going to be more stuff that's going to keep going.
I hope so. So you know, do you get annoyed? Sorry, Matt, I'm
Hey, co-host away, bro.
This is a good tag
my name is Asa, and this is Guys. Let's go and have GameOnDaily.
But do you? I'm because I get older. Maybe this is me, a symptom of getting older. I'm fond of indie games, but sometimes I can see myself getting pissed off with the indie label, like the old associations with it. Maybe because in core gaming circles, it was derided at one point, except for this time, this generation, I'm so happy that people are talking about indie games without the indie label as such, because for me, they are the backbone of the industry. I hope this moment right now, this year, and all these games that we're excited for isn't a little blip, but actually shouldn't be, because have you seen the insane amount of indie games out there? Does it annoy you when someone says
it's so tough, because in some ways I want like a third label, because you know there's games that are called indie that are like by these like 20-person studios, and I'm like, I can't compete with that. Like, call me something else.
Like Stalker 2 is an indie.
One man band.
You know, that kind of stuff. But you know, it's tough because it's there's like we could say AAA, and then anything below that is an indie game kind of. There isn't really like some middle ground, and that covers so much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do almost any good to say like, have you heard of this game? It's an indie game. Like it doesn't add quality to the conversation necessarily.
Yeah.
And so there's a good chance of it being like taken the wrong way, which it has been for a long time. I don't know how you get over that, because I don't want people to compare me to like Halo or something, because then I'll lose every time.
That happens as well too recently because
Yeah.
of the marketing and pitches for like it's when games get announced for Game Pass, for example, The Ascent, right? The Ascent is made by a small team, but they have such a huge profile when they launch. They're being compared to all these big AAA games, right? So there's that like area too, and it's kind of a weird thing right now.
Yeah, and it you can kind of, the conversation can kind of fall into like the ratings issues just in general with this. It's like, how do you compare Song of Iron to like The Last of Us 2 or some other game that just has 1,000 features? Like it's never gonna match up, or a Witcher 3, like an example. Like how could you ever rate those against each other without giving some concession somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's just a feel, like it's inevitable that The Witcher just has 1,000 times more of everything than what Song of Iron is going to have. And I don't know. So do I get like a 0.1 on the scale just by default? Like it doesn't. It can't work like that, right? It's infeasible. So
I think everything has to be taken into context of what it is.
You have to
you have to take into all the factors.
So from that side, the label's good if it's taken the right way. I think like anything, we need to be better at like not having black and whites and like understanding that there's gray areas and taking the second to like say 3 more words about something before we like make a, you know what I mean? Like one man studio is a great thing, and it's weird, but it's like one man studio indie game, side scrolling fighter, whatever it is. And then you go, okay, I have way better context than the alternative. So it's a tough one, but
yeah.
Well, I think we're starting to blur those lines though, Joe, more and more. And I think what you said does have merit. Obviously, when you're looking at 2 games, you can't always compare. They're not apples to apples when you're talking about when it comes to that. But at the same time, on the other side, we're starting to blur the lines where less and less of the industry as a whole is looking at indies like the cute little stepchild, right? Like, oh, that's nice. You guys got your cute little, games over here. And I thought it was interesting that you talked about, because I've been talking about it for a while too on shows, is that tools getting better to the point where small teams or one-man armies can go out there and produce something that if you didn't know any better, if you just said that this game came from a bigger studio, like Death's Door, let's take for instance, you would never question it, right? People wouldn't be like, oh no, there's no way that came from that bigger studio. It would just be like, oh, that was a side project of theirs. Oh, that's really cool. But they had access to all this, all of this technology and all these resources, when in reality, that wasn't necessarily the case. And I think that's the good part. And that's why we see indies now, like a month like we're having right now, where I myself and everybody else, or for the most part in this community, are going, my God, this is just a great month for games. We're not saying, oh, this is just a great month because we got all these cute little games. No, this is a great month for games in general. There's been so much high quality content out there. And again, yours is just going to be the cherry on top, which is the beautiful thing. So
yeah, it's a wonderful time for sure.
Yeah. Psychonauts 2 as well is coming. I keep forgetting that. Hades just hit on Game Pass. I don't know if you could before. Well, I'm gonna do your outro.
To say something.
Indie does.
Yeah, if people think of indies as a lesser thing, they are uninformed.
Yeah.
To me, it states that it will be created from the heart, as it's not driven by money making first.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
He's doing because he makes money of this.
He's the indie gamer.
Ulterior
Right,
motive.
because I love indies as well, and I don't care if it's got a AAA tag, a AA tag, or an indie tag, or even a small developer tag. If I like the game and I play the game and love the game, then to me it's a great game.
Yeah, for me, indie doesn't mean anything about quality. Right.
No.
To me, actually, it means the opposite. It means the graphics suck. No, it means I actually only see indies actually take artistically, I gel with indies more. They take the risks. They take it's like you want to it's like acid trip. Not that I've ever taken acid, people, but it's like an acid trip watching a montage of indie reels just playing. It's just pure art.
They innovate.
Just pure art.
They innovate.
Innovative. There's so much art there. There's just pure art. Whereas with the AAA games, you can get raw visual fidelity, which it looks great, but you don't get. I mean, we've got Joe here.
No soul. Sometimes you lose the soul.
A lot of them,
soul.
And also
Pong
a lot of them get muddled up with too many inputs, and also I think that they're getting much of a muchness at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many games.
It's like music, right? I mean, there's your super well produced pop music, and then there's the stuff you like and no one knows about. And I mean, it's very similar. Right?
So true. It's so true. The soul of it, the grassroots of the industry are indies. The qualities is what's really good about this one, though, is that, like, I think Pong, you mentioned it. The tools are getting so much more proficient and easier for soul devs.
Accessibility, right, guys?
Accessibility. That the barrier is being removed so that they can really easily translate their vision into games, and that's amazing. I can't do that. You guys are built differently, by the way, Joe. You guys are aliens. I cannot do what you do.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you can't scream down the microphone like I do, pulling the faces that I do.
I got no sauce.
It's probably a good thing.
Gaz looks good as Cortana. I got to say.
Shout out
Gaz
to
Tana
for making this new avatar for
Gaz Tana.
for Gaz here.
And that's why The Witcher 3 is
Damn
so
it,
much
Cole.
better than Skyrim, because it's an indie.
Halo
Look at that. That's fantastic. He makes the best Gaz picks. In fact, you're on our thumbnail is a Yakuza Gaz.
Good, that was amazing. I had to make it my profile pic.
That was great. So, hey, Joe, absolutely amazing to have you here, and super excited to play your game later this month. It's on the 31st. That's right?
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And I know a lot of us are looking forward to it, and I've already bought it and stuff. But guys, if you want information on Joe's game, it's in the chat. It's in the description below with a link to the website as well as his Twitter. So check that out, please. Song of Iron. Absolutely looking forward to it. And I wanted to try and keep it at 2 hours for you, sir. So thank you for being here. And let everybody know where they can find you. Obviously, I already said it's in the description, but go for it.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. This was super fun, and thanks for giving me a good out, because my mind is out of things. I'm gonna go right back to work after this, so I appreciate it. I mean, game's coming out on the 31st, like you said. You can follow me on Twitter. That's the big one where I'm most consistently posting and all my updates go to and stuff. And I'm excited to get it out to people. I really hope everybody likes it. Can't wait.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for being here again, dude, and can't wait to play your game. So you have a absolutely awesome night, and get back to work because we need to play it.
Yeah, we'll do.
You got to finish that co-op.
Yeah.
And the fishing.
Yeah.
The fishing DLC.
Game 2. Yeah. No precedent yet. Don't make it. All right. Thanks again for having me. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
Joe.
Later, Joe.
Thank you so much.
Take
Later,
care,
brother.
mate.
Thank you so much.
All the best.
Cheers.
Well, Gaz, is there any game that you wanted to give a shout out, like real quick, like that you've been playing recently, and you can go ahead and say goodbye and tell everybody where you can find you, and we'll go ahead and get out of here for everybody.
Yeah, no, thank you again for having. That was a really good chat. It's always good to get a diverse set of opinions, even if AssassinLupa is wrong.
I'm only wrong on your level, Gaz.
It's very short level, I'm quite sure. No, 5'8", it's not that short. But And this game, not many people have heard of, but I think it deserves a special shout. It's called Apex Legends.
Yes. Hey, tell 3-Bit. I can't get 3-Bit.
I feel like
on the
that
Apex.
game is like
High
so
level
underrated.
It is. Well,
Nobody
a lot of
plays
people
it, but it's so good.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were going to say
Nobody
Raid
plays it
Shadow
because of all
Legends.
Couldn't
the
get it
cheats
again.
in
I
it.
don't know.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Gaz, have
I
you
bet
played
Gaz with
And
his
if you
sauce
use
is
my
one of
name-
the cheats in it, isn't he?
If you use sauce, you get 10% off.
Have you
No,
played
but-
Apex with Mr. Badbit?
No, I haven't. Is
It's
he good?
good. Yeah.
Yeah?
We played the other night. We got 3 wins, dude. It was cool.
Oh, wicked. I'm doing ranked at the moment, but it's good to get some good
Oh yeah,
teammates.
we wouldn't win that.
Yeah, no, but I'm definitely looking forward to it because I'm looking to start a video series called Road to Apex Predator. It charts the journey of a mediocre player like me learning to be one of the best. It's a considerable undertaking, whether I'm a bit intimidated by the notion of it. But yeah, that's what I'll be playing. I'm playing Hades again because the bloody game is so addictive. It's like,
Yeah.
right, downloaded 12 minutes. Hopefully I can make it. But I need to up the video content, and I'm talking about 2-3 videos a week. So I'm just trying to reconcile that with my day job as well.
Yeah, videos are
but
rough,
yeah, it was-
man.
Videos suck, especially when they don't get the traction that you want, but you still want to. There's so many creative ideas. The source, you thought the
It's
colossal was
flowing.
crazy. It's going to be flowing. It's pouring through every orifice. That sounds weird.
Oh no.
At least you're playing games again. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That's true. That's true. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for having me. It's obviously a pleasure. I was looking forward to this one, Math, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll source it up together, the babes. in the future.
Okay, baby. You have a great
It's a
night, Gaz.
pleasure.
Hey,
Never
you
a
too.
chore.
I'm going to leave before Kaitlin tries to kill me. See you, man. Peace out, guys.
She
Later,
can
Gaz.
share.
Later, Gaz.
Take care, guys.
Later, bro.
Take you later, brother.
Bye, bye, bye.
Awesome show. Magnificent 7. You guys rock. Shout out to Lady, who's in the mountains somewhere,
Night fishing.
night fishing.
So back onto Halo. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Round 2 of Halo. Let's go. Come on. Where is it? Where's the co-op?
Don't start.
Yeah, I know. It's we got to get a good hour discussion on that. So I think we put in our 2 cents. Like, great show today, guys. Absolutely loved hanging out with you. And we'll start with first in my heart, lovely wife Kate. Baby, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at KaitlinXO615 and here every Friday.
Yep. There's no more. Just okay.
Oh, and Fun Pop on Wednesdays.
There you go. Yeah.
And
Sorry.
What about Saturdays?
I don't think she's fully committed to that right now. It's like, we'll see, or we usually have something on Saturdays, whether it's a stream or whatnot, and she's usually hanging out, but it's like, I don't know. We'll see.
I just think we need to rework it a little bit. So it's on a little,
Okay.
Gotta work it.
It's her thing. The Math and Fancy show, which is like kind of more her thing. We want it to be what she wants it to be.
We want to see some more of that kitchen.
Yeah. Check out her TikTok.
Some more
Hey,
of
what
that
about-
kitten?
What about
Wait,
your
what?
TikTok, babe? You gonna check out
Oh.
your TikTok?
Kitten. What?
She's
I'm gonna like start my own channel and start putting my TikToks and other videos on that. So that should be coming soon.
Cool.
nice.
I'm really into like the organizing and the home shit right now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like transforming our house right now, like with her TikTok. So it's crazy. Extraordinary, amazing, AssassinLupa. Where can everybody find you?
I just want to say it's been an awesome show. Thoroughly enjoyed the discussions. Great to talk games. I love it, even if I was winding Gaz up. Thanks, Gaz and Joe, for coming on. You're awesome guests. And chat, you've been amazing all night. You are awesome. So interactive. It's been such fun. Thank you very much. And you can find me at AssassinLupa on Twitter and Xbox Live, and here on Friday evenings and middle of the night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UK time. And I'll catch you all gaming, guys.
Heck yeah. Hey, and by the way, I keep missing that. I forgot completely. I missed a $2 super chat from ACS Husk. So shout out to Husk with the fist bump beer emojis. You rock, dude. Cheers. I forgot about that one. 3-Bit, the amazingly talented developer, animator, artist, actor, sex symbol, love interest in music videos. What else? What else is there? Mural.
Well, my OnlyFans is not happening
showing
anymore,
up in the news.
Yeah, no more OnlyFans.
No more.
OnlyFans got taken down.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Thanks for being here again, as always. Yeah. And where can everybody find your stuff?
Everyone can follow me on Twitter at TheVideoGamesHD. My YouTube channel is TheVideoGamesHD. I just been for those who just been watching my stuff, I just been posting some of my animation stuff that I've been working on and sort of using it as tests for other things that are coming up. So most of the animations you're going to see are just tests, just little test animations for this bigger project I'm working on in the background. But yeah, that's pretty much where you guys can find me. I'm on this show every Friday with you all lovely people. And then I'm on Xbox Factor, sometimes with Mav and Pong and Zemi and that whole crew over there as well. So I love you all. We will probably be playing Halo afterwards. Usually Mav has this what's it called, after hour
hold on,
picture.
Let me see if I have it
Boop.
up here.
Just put
Where
it
is it? Okay, here it is. Boop.
Boop. I don't know where it is, but there somewhere. We'll be playing Halo afterwards if you guys want to all join us, all the peeps in chat. So love you all, everybody in chat. Gaz, Joe, it's always awesome talking to other devs, especially in podcasts. It's really cool. And Gaz, you got the sauce. So we'll see you guys on the next show.
Heck yeah, dude. And the mellow fellow from outer space, the one and only Psychonauts. Where can people find you, bro?
Yeah, I just first want to say thanks everyone in the chat that came out tonight. You guys were amazing. I wanted to thank our guests, Gaz and Joe Winters from Song of Iron. I wanted to ask Joe, was that a Phil Spencer shelf he had behind him? Because there are a lot of great things. I was checking out his shelf.
Pong wouldn't like it. It's got Zelda on it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Burn it down. Burn it down.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I nearly brought it up, but I thought I'll leave it.
But yeah, it was. You guys can find me everywhere at Psychonauts 8, and on my YouTube channel, Gamer Chat Podcast, Gamer Chat one word. You can find me Tuesdays on Players of Everything, Masters of None on the Noobs and Pro channel. Wednesdays I'm with Fun Pop at 10 o'clock Eastern. You can find me here every Fridays at 9 o'clock with the M7 and your magnificent motherfuckers. Love you guys. Let's go play some Halo.
Yeah, you too, man. Hey, Pong Soul, Encyclopedia of Gaming, dating back to the very first game ever made. I know you're getting sick of that shit, but I don't care. Pong, where can people find your awesomeness, bro? Name the 18 podcast.
It's not really 18 anymore, is it? So I've been so busy. I've been like, I feel like I'm not on any anymore. It's been crazy. No, great show, family. Love you all. Miss you, lady. Hope you're having a great time on vacation. Wish I could take one. That'd be fantastic right now, but I can't. But man, Joe is just such an awesome dude. He's not only just a game developer, but he's such a part of this community. He has been around for as long as I can remember jumping in here. It's so great to be on shows with him because he's just a down-to-earth guy. I love talking to that man. And of course, Gaz, he not only has the sauce, he is the sauce. And it's always good to have him even when he's tired. So that was fantastic. Love that guy too. But chat, you guys were phenomenal as always. So great discussion in there. We kind of knew this was going to be a divisive kind of night with the Halo talk. It is what it is. We're just all looking for the best gaming experience possible. And we can't wait until November since we assume that's going to be the date. But great job, guys. Love having you here each and every week. Otherwise, tomorrow morning, you guys, always know the drill. Living Split Screen, episode 21. Myself, my brother from another, Steel Rain, who was in the chat earlier. We will be back to wake you up. So get those alarm clocks set. If you're going to play after hours Halo, make sure you go to bed at a good time. Okay, so you can get up. No, I'm just joking. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. UK time. See you guys all there. Shop Podcast is still on hiatus. There's a chance it's going to be back soon, so keep your eyes and ears open for that. Shout out to PTK Blam, taking care of real life stuff. That's how it works. So just keep doing your thing, man, and we'll be back for the Shop Podcast hopefully real soon. Otherwise, Tuesdays, Xbox Factor Podcast, Mr. Boomstick, Zemi Games, 3-Bit when he is available. And of course, Mav has been showing up on a consistent basis. So it's always a good time on Tuesdays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time. See you guys all there. Play what you love what you play. It is the golden age of gaming. You don't believe me? Just go see what's dropped and what's going to be dropping for the next 3-4 months here. It is insane. So anyways, talk to you all later. Love you. Nothing but respect.
Heck yeah,
And
man.
Mav, where can we find you?
Hey, that was cool. I like that. Well, first off, shout out to Vic the Click hitting us late with the $2 super chat. Appreciate that. He says, "Great show, and you're glad you made it tonight." We're glad that you made it tonight too, sir. Thank you for being here. And that goes out not to only Vic, but also everybody else in the chat. I saw the chat just freaking flying again tonight. I love seeing that interaction. It just means that you guys are engaged in what we're talking about, and that is everything, right? That's absolutely everything, because that's what this is all about. It's having fun, talking about games. None of us are getting into like arguments or being toxic to each other or spewing ridiculous misinformation or using clickbait stuff to like drive conversation. You know what I mean? This is all about having fun, talking about something that we're all passionate about and we love. And when I see the chat moving like that, it means that you care about the stuff that we're talking about. So super appreciate every single one of you guys. You are absolutely awesome. To all the channel members as well, you guys absolutely rock. All the speculators out there, you see the names going above on the screen. Super appreciate the support. Thank you for the super chats as well, guys. I super appreciate that. Helps the channel grow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have a second to hit the like button, it helps the channel. It helps if you share it out to your friends and family. And if you sub to the channel, hit the notification bell, you can find out whenever we're live. As well as, don't forget, if you prefer this on audio platforms, we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and more. So check us out there. As well as Fun Pop is on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, and that is also on the audio platforms as well. So check that out. And hey, it's a lot of fun playing all these freaking games. So catch me streaming. Always streaming, sometimes with these guys in the party hanging out, and others. It's absolute blast of gaming right now. So thank you guys in the chat. This has been Xbox Ultimate. Shout out Gaz. Shout out Joe. You were awesome. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Later, all.
Later, everybody. Have a great night.